Good evening. Kathy Beatty here with Divorce Support Anonymous. Thank you for joining me this evening. It is Friday Night Live, where I step into your life for just a few moments to give you some direction, some hope, hopefully some peace, some practical tools and resources to help you as you go through the trauma of divorce. Not only go through it, but after divorce. And that really covers one of the topics that we're going to discuss tonight. When I look at the title, it makes me sad just to read it. No longer invited. Feeling the loneliness of loss of family after divorce. It's huge for all of us, and divorce is a multi-level loss. You don't just lose the marriage; you lose the dynamics. You lose family who was once family. Aunt Patty and Uncle Bob are no longer aunt and uncle to you. Mom and dad are no longer mom and dad to you, even though they were your in-laws and you grew together for years, decades. And I certainly remember the time when the holidays came around, and it's turning into October and holidays are approaching, believe it or not. I can't believe the year is almost over. But as the holidays approach, you're going to find, if it's your first year after divorce, things are different. And we can't fall into that tradition and routine that we once did. And that's when it really hits home that we are no longer invited to some things that were part of our tradition and life for a very long time. Now, I don't want to make this totally sad, but I want to give you some practical tools to help you with it. And I want to end with some positive notes of what every ending has a new beginning. And this is going to be a new beginning for you. And it can be wonderful and wonderful holidays as well. So when this happens, I want you first to acknowledge your emotions. For some of you, that's difficult. I think of the several men, not all men, but several men that I've worked with, many men, who had difficulty acknowledging what they were really feeling. And that really kept them at bay from being able to identify so they could begin to accept and to heal. So it's critically important that you acknowledge this hurts. This hurts terribly. And the more you can define it and describe it and find a safe place in which you can speak that and process that, the better off you're going to be. And the sooner you are going to be healing from it. You must give yourself time to grieve. Allow yourself to feel the sadness. Because when you're feeling it, you're being honest with yourself. And when you're being honest with yourself, then you can begin to move through it instead of being stuck in it. I hope that makes sense, because it's absolutely true. We must be able to give ourselves time to grieve, to be able to release the pain that is pent up and built up inside of us from the loss of divorce. So you also need to understand that it's not you. It's the awkwardness of the times, a divorce, so many people, so many family who you're very close to. Now they don't know how to respond. They don't know what to say, and they withdraw, which makes you feel even more alone, unfortunately. But it just happens all the time. The hundreds of people that I've worked with, it just happens. Those people who we thought were going to be there, who we thought we were so knit closely with, all of a sudden disappear. It's not you. It's their awkwardness. It's the change of the dynamics. It's a change of, they feel if they reach out to you, they're not going to be loyal to their family member. So it just has all kinds of complexities. But hard to accept, not take it personal. I know I did. I felt that emptiness. Goodness, I remember when the kids left and I was home alone because they were going to a reunion or holiday. Oh, it was painful, very painful. But I got through it, and you will get through it. And sometimes it's just, you wait for the day on the calendar to pass. So a new one comes, and that day of significance is over. And that's okay if that's what you need to do. Don't isolate, even if you want to. Don't isolate. Because when we isolate, the only voice that we're hearing is the one in our head. And it's going to be exaggerated. It's going to be um, not truthful, not honest. And so don't isolate. Find that safe space. Is that a support group? Is that a therapist? Is that close friends? Do not isolate. What type of self care do you need right now as you go through this? What is the self care that you need? Hey, Stephanie, good to have you here. Someone was made a comment. I had to see who it was. So good to have you here. So, what type of self care do you need? Maybe it's a weekend away, with girlfriends, a weekend away with guy friends. Maybe it's just taking care of yourself, taking a Pilates class, going and getting a massage, um, buying you a new outfit. What do you need? What kind of self care? Don't take any of them to the extreme, but there are ways in which self care is really important right now because you are indeed lonely and you are indeed going through something that is just it's just difficult to go through. It really, really is. So also start planning your future. Start planning your future. Those times when you're alone and you're not invited and you feel lonely is a prime time to begin to start to think and to wonder, what do I want my life, my future to be like? I have a future. What do I want it to look like? And that was the reason for the creation of this workbook right here. It's an 8-week program that's very simple for you to follow, simple yet profound questions that help you come up with a vision for your future and what it is that you want for your life. So that's available. You can find it on many vendors, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, christianbooks.com. You can find that. So use that time constructively because that is going to help keep your mind off of the feelings of loneliness. So there we go. Get back to the right screen here. And who has shown up for you? Who are those people who you thought perhaps were just friends and now they've become true friends? They have come to you and ministered to you. Who are they? Now is it a time to deepen those relationships, to take the time to explore the relationships, go out for coffee, go out to the beach, go out for a walk in the woods. Deepen those relationships of those people who have shown up in your life. That is a beautiful action and response to not being invited or not being part of a family event that you have been in the past. Of course, I'm going to give you some scripture verses because I truly believe that God draws near to us when we are broken, when we are lonely, and really wants to comfort us, wants to hold us, wants to give us words of encouragement. And indeed, He does. Though my father and mother forsake me, the Lord will receive me. Though my father and mother forsake me, the Lord will receive me. Those who were so close, God is closer still and will receive you. And one of my very favorite verses that speaks to me and it speaks to, I use it quite a bit in my groups. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. God is so active in drawing near to you. If you will allow Him to, He heals the brokenhearted. He gives them a future. He gives them hope. Indeed, He does. So I know how painful it can be when you are no longer invited to family or to friends or to married couples events. I realize and know how very lonely that can be. But this is not the end. because there is opportunity for you to grow into a deeper and richer person than you have ever been in the past, to find new friends and new opportunities that truly do await you. So, even though this is sad, I would encourage you just to pivot and to turn and take action instead of wallowing in the pain that you're in. Yes, take the time to grieve, but don't stay there. Find an opportunity by the things that have been listed here to reach out, to begin creating your new life. Take baby steps if you must, but begin to move forward into your new and yes, beautiful future. This is Kathy Beatty with Divorce Support Anonymous, walking with you every step of the way through the trauma of divorce. Have a good evening.